At the beginning of the story, we were shown the airport, where we meet a pilot named Brad. He quickly walks towards the ship, and simultaneously on video call, he is also talking to his daughter. The daughter says that this morning I saw the news. I saw it, in which it was being said that the weather in the area you are visiting, it is very bad, because of which many more, all flights have been cancelled. Therefore, you two should cancel your flight and return home. Should come. But Brad smiled and replied, I remember I've been in such weather many times before. I've flown safely. So you don't worry. I'll be back home soon. I will go. Hearing this, his daughter would be happy, and hangs up. Then Brad, arriving in the cabin of the plane, he would meet the pilot. The co-pilot was a little nervous because today, he was about to fly for the first time. An air hostess comes and calls Brad out, where a police officer tells Brad that because of the emergency you are a murderer, whose name Tony is a very powerful and he's a dangerous man, facing a murder charge, and now take it to another country by ship, was sent to jail for life imprisonment. He tells police officer Brad that's why we're giving you this responsibility. Because you are a capable and intelligent pilot. Yes. Brad agrees and Tony is the best. Makes him sit in the last seat so that the other passengers should not face any problem. After that all the passengers sat on their seats. And Brad goes to the ship staff. He comes and confirms that all the passengers have arrived. After which the plane takes off. After reaching the altitude, the Brad ship, putting it on autopilot and piloting it, starts talking about his family. Brad is the pilot of his mobile phone. He shows his daughter's photo and says, I love my daughter very much and our place in this world is apart from each other and there's no one on the other side of the ship. Passengers are enjoying the journey. But they did not know that after some time, something very bad is going to happen to them. Both the pilots sitting in the cabin were also happy. And the plane is also flying normally. But then suddenly the weather turned bad and the ship began to tremble slightly. Brad gets upset because he was not feeling well. He told all the passengers, announces to fasten seat belts. And he talks to the control tower via radio. He tries to do it, but it doesn't work for him. It could be because of bad weather. All the radios here have stopped working. Then suddenly a strong electric shock. It seems to come from a plane. Because of which the plane, he starts jerking harder. Brad, from the cabin to check on the condition of passengers. He exits. Brad looks at the passengers. Gets some relief because all passengers were safe. But here now, the lights were slowly going off and then the plane experiences several more jolts. Brad's head hit the ceiling and he fell down. He falls and gets hurt on his forehead. In view of this situation, all passengers, Brad's condition was beginning to worsen. Back in the cabin with my partner. Together they start handling the plane. It was a very difficult time for him. Due to the damage, they were not allowed to do anything further. I couldn't see it. Brad says, we have to bring the plane down because if the plane receives another shock, it will be destroyed. These people can immediately determine the altitude of the ship. And the ship begins to descend rapidly. Inside the ship, the passengers were very scared. The police officer who accompanied criminal Tony. It happens that the mobile phone slips from his hand. He turns his head to pick up his mobile phone. He unbuckles his seat belt. An air hostess also wore her seat belt. Now, because the plane is moving fast, it opens and comes forward. Was going downwards from the. As soon as their seat belts were opened, both of them started moving rapidly. They collide with the ceiling above. hit the roof so fast that their immediate death occurs. The ship is much smaller in size. Comes to altitude and somehow by doing these two pilots would control the plane. But the ship doesn't have much power anymore. So Brad landed the plane at the airport. Because of this, Brad bring the ship down and crash land in the ocean. He thinks of doing it. But then both of them do something. We see an island in the distance. After which, Brad directed the ship towards the island. And decides to land on the island. After many difficulties, Brad finally on a road on the island. Makes an emergency landing. Luckily, this all passengers safe in emergency landing. Stay safe and no one gets hurt. Then a short circuit would occur at the rear of the ship. Brad is happy to see that. Because the ship still has some power. All passengers were saved from the ship. After landing, an air hostess, Captain Brad, tells the criminal to take Tony away. A police officer has been killed and the stewardess was also killed. Hearing this, Brad becomes very depressed. On the other hand, the owner of the airline company sees to it that a ship has suddenly disappeared because he didn't see the plane land. And because the radio broke down for quite some time. He could not even contact the pilot. So he was the owner of the airline company. A rescue expert named Scarsdale. Who is trying to find such people. Who works while stuck somewhere in trouble. The owner of the airline company. He says, I need all the things in my plane. I need details like where did he go? Where are the workers and all the passengers? After that the rescue experts got busy with their work. On the other side, all the passengers are thinking. That's why we landed here. Brad gathers all the passengers and explains that we have to land here because of an emergency. The plane still has some power. Exists which we can use to fix the rest of the things. I will take it. Till then you all stay here comfortably and don't worry, we'll be here very soon. Brad will then leave the plane. He comes closer and starts fixing it. He sees that the power in the ship is very low. So they have to wait for help. People can take out the map and see their location themselves. So that they may know where are these people? Brad's companion. The pilot looks at the map and tells us that we are stranded on a private island. This place. It's very dangerous. There are people like that here. Which is not about any government or government. If these people caught us, our lives may be in danger and even the government will not be able to save us. Hearing Brad say that now out of nowhere. By sending our rescue team here. We must call him so that he can come and save us all. Take it because this is the only way out of here. After leaving, both of them went to call for help. But the radio was completely destroyed by lightning. Had broken down. Now Brad, all the passengers, comes to them and tells them that there is a problem. The radio is not working because of this. But don't worry, everyone. Brad comforted them. Gives us a glimpse of the other side of the island. Go find the radio and get to the control tower. Inform the rescue team by telling them your location. I will ask you to send it here and you all will come and will save people, and Brad here is he takes a big step. He says that Tony will go with him. Saying this he went to Tony's. He unlocks the handcuffs. Here, Brad is on the ship's deck. He tells the co-pilot to take the power of the plane. Get to work repairing it. Soon through any contact. Trying to bring the rescue team here. I will. After which Tony and Brad will be on the radio. Heading into the woods to find. On the way, Tony tells Brad about it. He says thanks for trusting me. Now we. Terrorist group living on this island. Let's see. A man comes running to him. And that man tells the leader of that group. It is said that a plane stopped here on the island. It is due to emergency and there are many inside it. There are all these people who are from different countries. Hearing this, the group leader said something to the man. The group leader gives the money and the group leader sends his team. He tells them to get ready. The island's jungle. Brad and Tony are moving on. Tony asks Brad, "Where did you find me? Why did you free me and where are you taking me now? Are you?" Then Brad tells her, "Because I won't put everyone in danger because of you. And there is a dangerous terrorist group here that you have to face with me." Then Tony tells Brad, I have a military background and I am from the US. I have served in the military for many years." Soon, Tony's voice came from behind. Closes. When Brad turns back, Tony wasn't there. He was Brad. Had escaped for his life and now Brad would venture out into the woods alone. Moving further into the woods, Brad finds an empty. Goes to a factory where he finds the telephone, but it's an old one. The old telephone was lying broken. After that, telephone wire on the braid side connects and the telephone starts working. Brad quickly leaves the company. Brad calls the helpline. Tell the helpline your location and everything. But if there is a fault in the line. Because of this, his voice reaches the person in front. It is not reaching properly. Due to which, the helpline people would cut the call for Brad. Then Brad gets an idea. He calls his daughter and tells her location and everything else on a paper. He writes it and asks to deliver it to his office. Then during the conversation a man came from behind and he attacks Brad, but he manages to control it with great difficulty and he beats that man till he becomes unconscious. Then Brad realizes that another man, he's coming into this room. So he's hurrying up. Hides. But the man is none other than. Rather it was Tony, who had a lot of goons. They killed him and took his weapons and that Brad. He calls out, "Don't be afraid, come out." Then when Brad comes up, Brad hands him a gun to protect him. After that, when both of them went to the factory. If you come to the lower floor, here, they find a camera. From the recording and the passport lying there, they find out that living on this island, terrorists kidnapping people and killing them, demanding a huge amount of money from the family. And when the family of the kidnapped man, even when they get money from these people, would have killed him instead of leaving him. Seeing this, Brad understands that our passengers are also in danger. After which both of them come out and in front of them there is the car is visible. This car is on that road. It was the terrorist who had been killed by Brad some time earlier. He was killed by the hands. Now both of them are standing outside. Get in the car and pick up your passengers. They start moving towards the bus stop. All the passengers there, sitting around waiting for Brad. Brad will soon bring help for them. Then they hear the sound of a vehicle. These people would become happy on hearing the sound of the car. And these people understand that Brad is there. A rescue team has been called in. But not a rescue team, but on this island, the occupants were terrorists. They opened fire. By driving they start scaring all the passengers. Brad and Tony also heard those gunshots. They had heard it. After which, they increased the speed of the car. Increased ability to reach the plane quickly. Let's try. Leader of a terrorist group. List of all passengers from air hostess. He asks for air quickly out of fear. The hostess brings him the list. Then one of the gang members asks the pilot, "Where's your senior pilot?" The pilot tells him that he had to go to the forest for some work. "I went but haven't returned yet." Brad and Tony also reach there. But both of them secretly kept away from these people. Meanwhile, a woman. She tries to escape from there, but people shoot and kill him. Seeing this, Brad goes to help them. But Tony stops him and says, "I want you to stay calm. It's not okay to leave now." The gang leader puts all the passengers in a bus. He sits down and the gang leader takes his too. Leaving his companions there, he tells them that go and get whatever valuables are inside the ship. Bring him in. After which all these people starts taking passengers to their destination. After the gang leaves, Brad is on Tony's. "I start getting angry that those people are ours. You took the passengers and you let me go." "He didn't." To which Tony explains that there were a lot of them. "Even if you went. If you go, you will not go alone against such a big army. They could have fought." Now both of them were moving towards the plane. And catches those two goons who were stealing valuables from the plane. Brad asks him at gunpoint, "Where's your leader taking the passengers?" "Must have gone." To which he tells that from here. "We have a base some distance away and everything is there." Must have gone. On the other hand, Brad's daughter. Rescue experts have Brad. She gives me a paper written on which a plane, the location and all the information would have been written. Rescue experts are using satellites. Finds out the location of the plane. They find out that the plane is on an island. Is trapped, and they also know that it is said that there is a dangerous place on this island. Terrorist group. After this he rescues. The officer was the captain of his own private army. And tells him the whole situation. He explains and asks him to go to that island. The captain of the private army agrees and, with his companions and a bag full of money, bags and several weapons bags in the car, loaded up and ready to go to that island. Brad, on the other hand, sees that the ship before those terrorists took it. The pilot of the ship's power system had it repaired and Brad sees that power is back on the ship. He becomes very happy. Now the bread is coming. For your private army team. Leaves a message on the uniform. And sets out with Tony to the place where the gang takes all the passengers of the plane had gone. Through the forest path it. Both of them reach the hideout of those terrorists. They go and both of them get out of the car. Sneak into the place where they. All the goons scare the passengers and kill them. We're making videos so that these videos could be there. He could send his family and collect the money from them. On the other hand, from the rescue expert, a private team was also sent near the plane. But when someone there, if not found, the team leader is inside the plane. He goes and checks it out. He finds two people there. The bodies of two men are found. These were those two men whom the gang leader threw out of the plane. He had told them to steal all the valuables. But Brad killed them both. Private Brad left for the team captain. Messages are also received which are related to that terrorist gang. There was a way to reach the base. Terrorists. Tony and Brad sneak up on them at the base of. We're keeping an eye on him, and as soon as they got a chance, these two meet secretly from behind. Kills two terrorists. Then this. Both of them move forward stealthily and go into a room. We reach outside. Inside this room, all passengers were confined. Now, Brad wanted to free these people, but there were a lot of guards guarding it, and Brad has the ability to open the door lock. There was no key either. After this, both of them. And kills those guards, and Tony picked up a hammer and killed several guards. He hits it with a hammer. Here Brad is taking the keys from the guard. Those passengers were taken to the room. He frees them from it. He tells them that get on the bus you're in quickly. Everyone was brought here by terrorists, and everyone quickly gets on the bus and sits down. Then Tony comes over to Brad and tells him that there is a way to get out of here by car. There's only one way, but there are many. Goons with guns are standing there watching us. They will start firing bullets at us. When Brad looks at the passengers, everyone is very scared now. Here Brad risks his life. Huey makes a decision and tells Tony that I am the enemy of all the terrorists present there. I'll distract you and you'll take advantage of the opportunity. Pick up all the passengers and take them away from here. Now, first, Tony Brad has to do this. He refuses to do so. He says that they'll kill you with bread. But bread. He says that apart from this we have no other. There's no other way. Hearing this, Tony man. Bread goes out of there. He comes to the terrorists. Their bread. He talks to the gang leader that I have informed you to help. Soon. The rescue team will arrive soon. Let all passengers leave. Hearing this, all the gang members laughed at Bread and starts beating Bread. The head says, how can I leave like this? I don't leave anyone without money. And now just as these people are about to kill Bread, only then there is private rescue. The team would reach there and attack the terrorists. And after firing for a long time, after killing many members of the gang, and put the Bread on the bus. They pick them up and leave. Gang's here. The leader sees that many of his comrades, his younger brother was also killed along with him. He becomes very angry when he sees. And he swears that he is one of these people. He will not leave even one of them and will select all of them. He would then tell his team, get ready quickly. We will be back soon. We'll go out to kill these people. I tell everyone, the captain of the private team, that we are just a small group of 5 people. There is a private team that is just here to protect you. We have come on a mission and we are not a rescue team. No. It took the rescue team a while to get here. It will take some more time. Brad panicked. He goes and says we have time. No, because the gang will soon be on our. They will follow us and kill us as soon as they see us. But I have an idea. Near the ship. Upon arrival, Brad tells all the passengers. Power is back on the ship. The ship will start now and we will immediately. We will get out of here. So all of you. Get on board quickly, because we can't wait for the rescue team. It will take time for them to come here, and if you stay here, you will be caught by those terrorists. Hearing this, everyone on the plane. They sit down while all the Bread is plain. Gets busy checking in private. The team members are already prepared for the impending danger. He sits ready. Then suddenly a terrorist group would come and attack them. Seeing this, the private team. It takes time to stop and hear on both sides. There's a lot of gunfire. But this private. The team had very good guns. He kills a lot of goons. Brad quickly tells the leader of the private team. Tells me that I will leave the ship in next 5 minutes. I am about to start and you all will also start soon. Boarding the ship from the Bread. He goes to Tony and thanks him. I wish you had helped me through such a difficult time. I joined in. Bread himself from the pills. Come inside the ship and save yourself and your cabin. And calls his partner to the pilot. Together they try to start the plane. Meanwhile, Tony runs out of bullets. And when she goes to look for the bullets, if he checks the bag of the private team, a bag full of money is found there. But at this time Tony left the money and went to another place. Taking the pills out of the bag again. Starts fighting terrorists. The Bread also turns the plane to the right. Now the soldiers of the private team are also one by one. And they start boarding the ship and Tony provides cover fire. Reason for power surge. The radio also starts working. Reveals Brad as the owner of the plane company. I can tell you a safe place. I'll give you where you can go. Now everyone. They board the ship, but Tony doesn't. He climbed up and left with the bag full of money. Starts running away because if he goes with them. When he got back on the plane, the police again. They will catch you and put you in jail. Gang of. The leader sees his comrades dying. He goes mad with anger. He gets on the plan,